I had a request to explain a little bit of what I was doing in the Rocky Top video that I posted a while back. So I'll go through that. I mentioned in the other video the chords are G, C, D, E minor, and F. So it's a good idea just to be aware of all the different inversions of those chords. So the G is usually played on the 3rd fret, no pedals, and I'm starting with the 8th string, so I'm doing 8, 6, and 5. And then also I'm doing a G on the, it would be the 6th fret with the A pedal down and the E raise lever. And I'm grabbing strings, just be 5, 4, and 3. And that's the same notes, only an octave up. So the first thing I played was strings 8, 6, and 5, notes G, B, and D. Well, then if you go to the 6th fret, put in the A pedal and raise the E lever, same thing, same notes, an octave up. And the other G version would be at the 10th fret with A and B pedals down. So it's good to work through all the inversions of all the chords in the song: G, C, D, E minor, and F. So for the C, I'm just using A and B pedals to the 3rd fret, but I'm also going up to the 8th fret with no pedals. And for E minor, I'm using just the A pedal at the 3rd fret, and also the 8th fret with the E lower. And for D, I'm using the 5th fret, A and B pedals. And I'm also going up to the 10th fret. So just kind of think through all the chords, because that's really how you play. You know, when you're doing solos, you just kind of want to move around from different chord inversion to chord inversion. So I'm going to run the original recording, and then I'll comment on it. The chords are G, C, D, E minor, and F. And I'm going to play a couple different positions and try to keep the melody on top. So what I did there was so I'm at the 3rd fret and using strings 8, 6, and 5. And then I'm engaging the A and B pedals. Same strings all the way for that whole thing. Okay, so that's G, C, G. And then I'm going to proceed from there. So what I did there was, so I went to strings 6, 5, and 4 with the A pedal down to play an E minor chord. Then I moved up to the 5th fret with A and B pedals down for a D chord. And then I disengaged the pedals and went back to the 3rd fret for the G chord. So that second phrase was, and I did move over string group, so I went, so that, so I'm starting just playing 2 strings and then adding the 4th string and moving up 2 frets, playing all 3 strings in the group, 6, 5, and 4. And then I'm moving over to 5, 4, and 3. And that's with the A and B pedals down at the 5th fret. That's the D chord. And then I'm releasing the pedals going back to the 3rd fret and playing strings 5, 4, and 3. So that phrase there was. Okay, so the first phrase was. So putting those two together, that's how it goes. Okay, moving on. So then for this next section, I went up to the 6th fret, strings 5, 4, and 3, A pedal down, E lever raised. And I played the same thing rhythmically. So that's just a G chord on the 6th fret. Then I took out the pedal and the knee lever, moved up 2 frets to the 8th fret, and then back to the 6th fret. So that phrase was. Okay. And the follow-up phrase to that was E minor, D, G. And what I did was I went up to the 8th fret with the E lowered. Played strings 6 and 5. So 6 and 5 with the E lowered at the 8th fret. And then back to fret 5 with the A and B pedals down. And I'm grabbing strings 6, 5, and 4. And I'm moving over to 5, 4, and 3. And I'm going back to 3 with no pedals, 3rd fret, no pedals, and just strings 5, 4, and 3. Okay, so that second whole section is, okay, let me get set up here. So I'm at the 6th fret, A pedal engaged, and the E raise. Okay, so that whole thing then just. Yeah, I should probably go back. So I should stay on 6, 5, and 4 to keep the melody on top. So that's what I'm working on. So there's mostly what I did there. Let's see what comes up next. Okay, so for this section, I went up to the 10th fret and I kind of rocked, put the B pedal down and rocked in the A pedal. So I'm doing the same thing every time, just in different versions and getting different sounds. And also with this A pedal rolling in here. So I'm on strings 6, 5, and 4 with the B pedal down, and I'm rolling in the A pedal. And then I'm going back to the 8th fret, no pedals, strings 5, 4, and 3. And then back up to the 10th fret, A and B pedals, strings be 4, 5, and 6. And then I'm going back to the 8th fret with the E lowered. And once again, I'm playing strings 6 and 5. But then this time I went up to 10 with no pedals to play the D chord instead of going back. I think in the other version I did. So instead of doing that, in this version I'm going. And then I'm rocking into the G chord on the 10th fret. You can mess around with the string grouping. If you want to finish that, you could go down to group, the low string group with strings 10, 8, and 6 with the A and B pedals down to get the G chord that way. Same notes, just a different place on the neck. So these are just some different ideas here, and I think I got through most. Let's see what else is going on here. Okay, we're in the chorus now, so the chorus. So the chorus goes to an E minor, and that's on the 8th fret with the E lowered. Strings 5, 4, and 3. Up to 10, no pedals, and go to strings 6, 5, and 4. And then go back to 8 with A and B. And that's the F to C change. The F chord with A and B down at the 8th fret. Strings 5, 4, and 3. And then just release the pedals. 2, 3, and then stay on C. So that's C, no pedals, 8th fret, and then back up to 10, strings 4, 5, and 6. You can do this a couple ways. And here's where it goes from the G to the F. You just hold the A and B pedals down. And what I'm doing is I'm picking strings 8 and 6 when I'm on G. Then when I go back to F, I'm picking strings 8, 6, and 5. And when I go back to G on the 10th fret, I'm also 8, 6, and 5 strings. And for the finale, for the ending of the whole thing, you could grab strings 10, 8, and 6. So that part is for the chorus, or yeah, but we'll call it the chorus. Ah, shoot. So E minor to D to F to C. Stay on C. Back to G. So that's kind of a breakdown of what I did on the previous video. I hope this helps.